What was your role, Don, when you started to, you laid out the track and everybody started to do things? I know Leonard Briggs did the electrical aspects of it. What'd they have you do?
Well, just any old job. Run to Jamestown, get parts, or just anything.
Yeah.
I always kidded when people said we were making lots of money. I always told them, oh, I get pretty good money for cleaning the restrooms every week. We had a lot of fun over the years, really, but we didn't ever.
We made a lot of money too.
We went in it with the idea of not making any money, and it got to the point where we needed to make some money, and the guys needed another track to build, and we just got into it, and we actually got into it without a lot of money because we had a lot of friends around this town, the farmers and stuff. They helped us out, and didn't cost us nothing but a free pass every year to the Speedway and stuff like that, you know, and that's how we got started. We didn't have no money, us guys.
The very first race you did in 1956, when you had rain the first couple weeks, so it didn't run, and then finally you ran the races, but it
rained pretty hard the Saturday we were going to open.
Right.
And we'd been around there a lot, but we didn't realize, we knew the ground wasn't just right for parking, but we never figured it was going to be as bad as it was. It sogged all the water up. We finally got ditches down through that parking lot to drain the thing. We did have an awful time, and we had a lot of, like I say, we had a lot of friends. Farmers from around came in with their tractors that night late and pulled people out. Nowadays, if you had that happen to you, you'd have a lot of lawsuits on you, and we got away with it that way. And people loved it up there. I loved the racetrack. And Emery Mann won the first feature that we ever held up there. But Emery got that $300 that first night. He never got the money in his pocket. But he talked to a friend of his, real close to him, was Leonard Briggs. And he said, you guys didn't do so good tonight on your crowd, did you? And Leonard said, no, we did pretty rotten, really. How he's going to pay that, I don't know, but Emery pulled us out of it anyway. He told Leonard, he found out what he was going to get for winning. He said, you keep it, so you fit to. So I was telling about it at a meeting we was having down there one night. And Emery said, I told about, well, some of you guys liked us because I remember one guy let us use his money for a while because $300. And Emery got up and he says, I'm sorry, but he says, I never did collect that, did I?
He's with the truth. Does he tell any lies?
Watch him. He'll say he's just kidding, but well, let's get away from that before we start a fight.
Don, he was jack of all trades up there. I mean, he cut grass and he did the toilets and always helped me when I need. He always knew what. That's one thing. He always knew what I needed. If I needed the York rake on the tractor, he knew. If I needed a load of water up there by the track, he knew. One day Don was out. He was going to do some brush hogging in the parking lot, so he'd like to keep the grass cut.
Oh.
So he's coming charging up through there cutting grass, and all of a sudden he looks down and there's all this damn money laying everywhere. It's all cut up. And he says, oh God, he thought he just thought he just came from heaven. And then he reached for his billfold. And his billfold, he'd cut the damn his own billfold out. The money would go out laying all everywhere.
I'm not lying. I think it was $180.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that?
There was a pile of money. Christ, I'm lucky to have a $1.80 in my pocket now. Tom Dill. I don't know any stories about him. I know one I always remembered. Him and another driver had a Fisco out on the track and weren't getting along too good. Of course, brakes are pretty important on race cars, but Tom went in the pit, and the guy he was having trouble with on the racetrack, he ran into the car in the pit, rammed it, and he always told us guys his brakes went out. Ours, of course, everyone knows Bob. He would much rather go out and have a beer in the woods instead of being with the fans after he'd win a big race. He was sort of bashful, but he was a hell of a nice guy. Squirt Johns, he was quite a drawing card. Pretty nice guy, really. I don't know, they got Squirt out of him. You probably know him, don't you? But
we met Squirt, yeah.
Big guy.
Tell us about Dean Layfield.
What about him?
Yeah.
Well, he was ahead of everyone driving a little bit because they'd raced downstate, and Squirt and them, they were away from home, and there's a lot of big names from there when it raced. They were ahead of us up there as far as building cars and everything. And the people stand right up in their seats when he would drive into the pit road. If he was a little bit late getting there, they'd cheer like hell for that guy.
You run down on your feature event, 25 laps. On the pole is car number 98, Bud Finale of Jamestown, New York, a 1957 Chevy. Kyle Russell in car number 4 on the move. Here it is, the checker flag and the win. Harvey Stars. And the battle for second. And it is Jim Hakes in 37. Third, Kyle Russell in car number 4. And fourth, Joe Mayfield in 21. Here he is, the terrific job of driving his second feature event of the season. What do you say? A big hand for Bobby Stars. Nice scoring, Bobby.
I don't think we ever thought we'd stay in business too long, but well, we just loved racing,
Right.
And we wanted to get into it, get our feet wet, I guess, and we had a lot of fun over the years, really.